Philly. Champions in the United States.
Hey y'all, this is Kay from Arrow Vegans, and today we are making a vegan gumbo. A bit of a Creole style Cajun, a little mix of both to be honest. But here are all the ingredients. I'm just showing you all. The ingredients that's being used will be in the description box below with the link to our website, which is arrowvegans.com, where you can find a full recipe and what was used. So yes, stay tuned and find out exactly how we made this amazing recipe. I wouldn't recommend skipping any, but if you want to, you can. But yeah, stay tuned. Alright y'all, so here we are. I just put a little bit of grapeseed oil inside the pan, or whichever oil of your choice. Just make sure it's high heat, because we will be sauteing something on a nice high heat. We're going to be adding in the field roast, chipotle, and also the other flavor that we had. I believe it was like apple sage, or I forget. It'll be in the description. But what we doing right here is just sauteing until they are like crispy, because you gotta understand, once we put it inside the gumbo itself, the texture will change, and you'll want to keep that firmness, you know what I mean? So do it to your liking, but I like to add a crisp because I know what's happening right after this, you feel me? So yeah, here we go. Yes, so keep on sauteing until we get to a texture like this. You see what I'm saying? It's nice and crispy. If you don't want it this dark, please don't make it this dark. But like I said, I love added texture in anything that I veganize, because that's something that we miss once we travel over to the other side. But here we are. Okay, so here are all the seasonings. We have some onion powder, garlic powder. It's a green harvest. You can pick it up from your Whole Foods, your local Whole Foods. We have some, what is this called again? Morifakaki, which is like a seaweed, and it has like sesame seeds inside of it as well. And then we have some okra. I'm also going to throw some oil on top of this, and also some lemon juice, just to give it like a nice citrusy flavor as well. And if I add anything else, I'll put it in the description box, and I'll show you all that. Alright, so what I'm going to do is just allow this to basically like melt inside the pan. Melt and swirl it around, get all those flavors that was in there prior before from the vegan sausage, which are amazing. They not burnt. I mean, it's up to you how you want to, cook your sausages. Ooh, excuse me. But I literally, I would prefer them a little on the crispy side. So we're going to put that inside here. Okay. Alright, y'all. So what we have here is just sauteing the shrimp. I just added in some lemon juice on top of that. And we're just going to sear these until they are very saturated in all the seasonings that I mentioned prior before inside of those vegan shrimp. Just adding that nice flavor and texture inside using the cast iron skillet. And then this next scene, we're going to see exactly how, crisp that cast iron done made those shrimp. I mean, they weren't like really crispy. I would have wanted them more of a crisp. If you want to, you can add it to your air fryer. That'll really get them how you need them to be, because once you put them inside of the soup, they'll become more tenderized. If you like that, that's cool. But like I said, I love texture. But here we are sauteing. They look so good. And here we are in the next pan. What we'll be doing is adding in our okra and our tomatoes, which we have from a can. We have the kale and the corn. We'll just be adding that all inside of there all together using the same pan. No need to clean it out, okay? Alright, so using that same pan, which we fry everything in, we putting in our okra, and then we're going to add in our canned Roma tomatoes. Is the kind that I use. You can use any kind of can of tomatoes that you have on hand. I know we all keep, cans in the kitchen, but you can, use any cans that you would like. And what I did was I just sauteed these. I just like to add, extra flavor throughout the meal. You know, adding a bit of this and a bit of that, making sure everything is cooked before putting it inside, and also just season, really. It's just the steps that I really take every time I make a meal. I make sure I season it thoroughly. And also, this is a step as well to get some of the sliminess outside of that okra. I heard that, you know, okra was slimy. This is actually my first time trying okra, and I'm not even gonna hold you, I was not disappointed. You know, I kind of seem to always amaze myself. But here is the corn and the kale that will be adding to this mix as well. Just saute it, you know, do your thing in the cast iron. Alright, so here I am adding some saffron salt. It actually didn't give it much of a taste. I had to add some extra little salt inside of this to make the seasonings kind of come out some, probably because it had a lot of different herbs inside of it. I picked that up from my local Whole Foods. The thing was $10. Listen, if you want it, get it, but you can always use the all-purpose seasoning or some sort of seasoning that have just a bunch of herbs and spices inside of it that'll make your dish pop. Don't really need that. Alright, so here are all the veggies, all sauteed and charred using the cast iron skillet. What we're going to do is put this inside a bowl, and we're going to use the same pan to add some butter and some oil, and to just get all of those seasonings up and going and sauteed. And what we're going to do is slowly add in the flour of our choice. We use spelt flour in this recipe. You can use any flour that you like. We also use avocado oil and safflower oil, which is a blend we get from Amazon. The link in the bio will be below. So what we're going to do is we're going to slowly whisk this. Make sure that you stay by the stove for the beginning portion of your roux, because if not, it'll burn. And what'll happen is the flavor will not be there at all whatsoever. You feel me? So what we're going to do is just whisk, whisk, whisk. Get this to a nice chocolate color is what I would prefer. I like darker. The darker the berry, the sweeter the juice. But yeah, get this really nice and caramelized, whichever color you would like. I end up adding more flour at the end because I felt like it just needed more. And here we are. This is the color that we came up with, which is a nice chocolate. And I just stirred. I had to be stirring for a good about hour and a half. This was going on for until we got to this nice chocolate roux. And this is only a cast iron skillet. So what I did was I'm going to be transferring this into another dish, which is my air fryer. It's like an air fryer pressure cooker mix, a Ninja. The link in the bio. I'll show you which one I have below. So what we're going to do is put this inside the air fryer. And we're going to add in our veggies from the beginning, which we had, which will be our onions, our bell peppers, our lemongrass. I added lemongrass because that's something we had inside the fridge, and I always like to add a little something different inside of it. And also the celery. So that's what we're doing. Okay, right here is so all the veggies are combined. Right now I'm just taking the roux and kind of like just cooking those veggies in between it all. At this point, I ain't even gonna hold y'all. I thought I messed up. Mind you, this is my first time doing this, y'all. So I'm just like, yo, did I mess up? I know this thing is really, really thick. And I know what I did as far as the thickness, because like I said, when I added the extra flour, it literally creates that thickness of a roux. You feel me? So that's what I did. I literally created this thickness, but in the end it all worked out. I end up adding some spring water on top of this. Once these cook, I can barely cook them, to be honest. I ain't even gonna hold you. So that water, and also just it's slow cooking itself, it's just gonna cook and tenderize. So I wasn't really, tripping too much. But here we are. I'm still just cooking it down. So yes. And at this point, we're going to be adding in, I believe I added in maybe about 3 spring waters. Oh, actually, we not. We went in the jalapeno, this is the sauerkraut, and the green onions. So I guess I added this in prior and sauteed it. So that's what we're doing right here. And prior to this, I probably added the garlic after this too. We'll see coming up. So we're sauteing. Just adding, and I only added the sauerkraut because, like I said, I had it in the fridge. It definitely is for gut health, and it adds an extra texture in your meal. So at the end of the day, it did not disappoint. I'm not even gonna hold you. It didn't mess up the flavor or anything regarding this meal. If you have any type of, concoctions in your fridge that you just think about adding to a dish, it does not have to be the traditional way. Trust me. I don't do anything completely traditional. I always add a little something of my own because you gotta make it your own, and you gotta use up some veggies in your fridge. You feel me? So here we are, just cooking this roux down and those veggies inside the air fryer. And here I am finally adding the spring water. I actually added those other veggies as well that we sauteed from the beginning, which was the okra, the kale, the corn, and the tomatoes, and added that all inside, and just allow these flavors and all of these different things to marinate and to move it all around and get it going. And like I said, I added three or four bottles, and after this, I'll be adding in the black eyed peas. Okay, so here we are. Just gonna stir. Okay, and here we have the different broths. Okay, we have Worcestershire, we have ginger, garlic, roasted garlic bouillon, and then chicken bouillon. We're gonna add that all inside here. I have to get it off, but we're gonna add it inside. I'll get the rest of this. We're gonna stir, and then we're gonna add in our black eyed peas, our shrimp, our vegan shrimp, and our vegan sausage, just so they can marinate alongside with all of this as well. This is my first time making this, but I'm pretty sure it'll turn out really good. And then we're going to add in our thyme and our bay leaves. Just trying to mix it to make sure that it's all well incorporated. Our thyme, parsley, and bay leaves. I'm just going to stir along with our seasonings as well. And here are the seasonings that we have. Gotta get this all out. Okay, so what I'm doing now is adding in the proteins. I'm going to add in the vegan sausages first, and then I'll add in the vegan shrimp. Here are the vegan shrimp I'm adding. And I'm just going to allow this to slow cook. And as it goes along, I'll see what seasonings I may need. I feel like I need a little bit more Creole. And I also have some filet that I'm going to add into this closer to the end. Okay. I'm just going to allow this to cook down some. And really let those flavors just marinate inside. Alright, y'all. So here is the final product. Here's the vegan gumbo. I'm telling you, when I tell you this gumbo was popping, this gumbo was popping. I've never tried gumbo before, so I don't really know what to compare it to but my own. But I know I use some of the traditional things that you would normally do, but I veganized it, and of course I added my own little blend of things. As you can see, I added the ginger and the lemongrass, but it all added that extra oomph that you would love, that you would never even think would go right in this, but it just blends oh so well. I end up, slow cooking this for like hours on end, and we kind of like ate in it, and especially since I didn't cook them black eyed peas, I had to let them cook for a little bit longer. We end up making some tacos out of this thing. I will have the link to the Instagram inside the bio. That's me adding in the filet at the end. It kind of really added this nice oomph, so don't forget it. I said forget it. And stay tuned for more recipes, y'all. Listen, this thing was popping. Let me know below how you like this recipe. Holla.